Morning and welcome to Pobla Farnells. Beautiful morning this morning. Forecast to get up to 30 degrees later on today. Yeah, it could be a bit warm. We're going to show you around what we've done to Swallow since we bought her this morning. You can see we've done a fair bit of work, a bit of renovation work, but we've also added a few things to Mediterraneanise the boat. Zoff's here with me, off camera, hiding. Yeah, we'll rig up in a minute, but I'll show you around some of the stuff that we've done to the boat as we get on, and hopefully we've got new mics, so they're going to work as well as we do this morning as well. Okay, we'll crack on and get loaded up, or rigged up. Yeah, first thing lines on, mainly because I empty the tub out that's down there, so put all the straps in as we crack on. Hello. One of the key features that I've modified since we bought the boat is actually on the trailer. I've made these, used to have a trailer board all the way across, but I've made these so they're independent either side. New brackets, new lights, and it means I can just fold those in and we don't have to take a trailer board off every time we launch the boat. Just push them in, which I'm going to do next. Just a simple case. Undo the two nuts, slide that in, both sides, and we can just launch like that. I actually have made these brackets removable if I want to, but it works fine as it is. Also replaced the rollers at the back here for non-marking ones. The old ones were rubber ones, and to be quite honest, they were deteriorated, 23-year-old. And they'd already deteriorated quite a bit. Always put this board on just to keep the police happy on the motorway, because the propeller does stick out a little bit far. And I also have a rubber block that I put on the back of the engine here and strap the engine up to the back here, so it's not bouncing around while you're driving. When we actually bought the boat, this locking bolt had gone, and I think that was partly from people travelling with the trailer and it coming loose, and the actual bolt had snapped inside. So one of the other jobs I did when we first bought the boat was strip the top half of the engine off and replace that. Actually modified it, so hopefully it won't go again. People grumble about rigging up every time when you come out, trailer sailing and everything else, but it's not all bad. On a good day, I've got it down to 20 minutes. I think today, because we're on camera, we'll probably take a little bit longer. We'll go steady, but it's early morning, 7 o'clock, 7:30. So I've got plenty of time today. Thought we'd get down here early, try and beat some of the heat. but we will be putting the bimini canopy up that we've is also one of the modifications we've made to the boat. So one of the key things we did when we first bought it was actually a lot of the timber had greyed off, and some of it was actually quite mildewed, not very nice. So rubbed it all down, polished it, varnished, well actually oiled it, linseed oiled, all around. Yeah, and it's made the boat look nicer, and it's keeping well so far. As you'll have seen on other videos, one of the key things I've made is a new boom, or a boom. There isn't a boom on a lugger normally. The main reason I've done this is so the rear swing of the sail, when the bimini canopy's up, it actually would have fouled the canopy with the original setup. With the boom keeping the rear end of the sail rigid, it allows it to swing. You'll probably see it in a minute or two when I get it set up. Made a set of parallel beads as well to hold the rear end of the sail. Last time we were out we didn't need them, so they're there. I've got them to put on if I need to. Another modification we've done is put a swim ladder on this side. I actually saw another Drascombe Devon with one fitted, one that cruised the Mediterranean. I can't remember whose it was. I saw it on the internet. So I put a nice piece of timber this side, backed it up the other side. It's the standard boat ladder. They're not actually made for this type of fitment. They're supposed to go over a swim deck, because there's nowhere on a Devon lugger to do that. So made a modification, as always, and yeah, a bit of wiggling. Okay. And that's in. And I made this piece here because when you're actually in the swimming, that would hang too far underneath and also, whack the side of the boat. So just made it's actually a piece of old broom shaft, just a few pieces screwed together, fitted on with some straps, and it just spaces it off quite nicely when you're getting on and off the boat. It sits there like that and stops it from bashing the side of the boat. Yeah, it does a good job. Used it a few times. Another thing I did when we first bought the boat is a lot of chafe marks on the mizzen and the mast, and also there was nothing on the foot. So I bought a cheap leather belt, cut it off, wrap that round and put some on the bottom. It just protects the boat, stops it from wiggling about, and yeah, it's made a good job. And it's made the mizzen a reasonably tight fit, which originally it wasn't. Well, that. Excuse my backside. modification we've done here is the jam cleat here, which is a swivel jam cleat for the main sheet. It's allowed me to keep both the mizzen and the main sheet yeah, sort of parallel to each other. With that being swivel, you know, when you're either side of the boat, absolutely perfect. Just makes sailing a little bit easier. I had a slight problem with my left shoulder from a motor racing incident. So, you know, if we're out for 7 or 8 hours, it can get quite fatiguing if I'm having to hold the sheets, tiller and everything else at the same time. But it makes solo sailing easier, and it makes sailing in general a lot easier with the cleat. The main rig is pretty much standard. You know, I've kept it as he originally set up on the lugger. Also put endless roller reefing. Oops, excuse me a minute. On the sail and new lines. The old reefing was okay, but no matter how many times you actually wound extra onto the rope, it never reefed back properly. The reefing was actually not starting to go as well, the bearings going in it. So I decided to replace it with endless reefing, and I made my own twin fair leads out of a block of aluminium. That's Mark III version, that's Mark 1 version. Mark II version was absolutely rubbish. I actually want to replace that one for another Mark III version. I actually countersunk the holes inside of the unit, and they're actually cut open, the tops, so you can get the ropes in and out, but at an angle so they can't actually undo once they're tightened up. I'll probably do a video when I make the next one and show you how we've done it. Actually made my own fenders. That one is actually my own fender. That's rope inside, and then properly formed on the outside, and then some of the rubber fenders we've got. I also jazzed up. My old man used to do the same thing for the narrowboats, so I thought I'd do the same for Swallow. Also had to do a few sail repairs on the jib, where the main wire runs through at the front. It actually worn a little bit at the bottom, so with some Dacron tape and stitching, I sort of repaired that. A couple of little repairs to the mainsail as well, just main stitching rather than anything else. Yeah, on the whole, pretty good. Okay. Now for the mast up. I like to keep things tidy, so it always just makes it take a little bit longer when you're putting things back up, but if the lines are tidy when you're travelling, that's the main thing. Right. One thing, putting the leather on the bottom of here, it's easy to see which way around the mast needs to go. Just a little bit of tension in this, so just needs pulling when we'll put it on. Let's get the pin in. Okay. And the endless lines, actually made this myself, but also made a tool for my fair leads. So it's we'll leave it clipped when we're travelling, and it just allows me to have the tool there and then ready for putting these in. There's no need to undo these fully, just slide back, make sure they get the lines the right way up. We have actually got a twist in them before today by accident, but lesson learned, we actually check nowadays. A lot of people with endless reefing systems, they're always bothered about whether they'll lock or not, you know, because of course it's free to roll either direction. So all we did was put a bungee at the back here, and while it's reefed in, we just put it to that, and it stops it from unfurling. It's worked good so far, so fingers crossed it'll stay that way. If worst comes to worst, we actually have another bungee on the front anyway while we're yeah, sort of travelling, and we've got it wound in so we can actually put that on and stop it from unfurling as well. You can see how quick these are to put on and off. You know, actually priced up, there's companies that make them, but when you're looking at €50 each, I thought this was a better option, make my own. And that's it, done. Put the bungee on, and that's it, it's locked off, easy as that. And that, for safety, just put it in the pocket. Okay. Anybody who's seen a Drascombe or knows Drascombes, these just roped on, and a couple of half hitches just to tighten them up. And I'm put one on like that, just so tight, not fully tight, and then I'll tighten it up with the other one. They often come loose while we're sailing. I've tried loads of times, loads of different ways of tightening, and they still come loose a little bit, but again, not normally a problem. Okay, make sure I'm not twisted. Ooh, say something's off, it's sticky already this morning, isn't it? Not speaking. Yeah, so I might need to tighten them up later, but all good. Bimini's one we had on our old inflatable. Luckily it's actually fitted pretty well. And it gives good coverage. You know, Drascombe and Devon used to make a little cuddy canopy that pretty much fitted the same way. So, you know, it was basically a Bimini, but curved and fitted the boats. I don't think that's in production anymore, but this does the job. All I had to do was drill, seal the mounts that came with the Bimini canopy, and then just adapt the lashings to suit. Not so sure about that cloud coming in over there. It did say there is a potential for storms later today, but that was mainly inland, so yeah. Fingers crossed it stays okay for us. Oh, mosquitoes about this morning. Trying to bat my arm. Oh, he's just got my leg. That's pretty much it, Bimini fitted. Now for the gaff, the boom, and then we're pretty much there. Okay, the other modification we had to do when we put the Bimini canopy on, it actually sits, you've probably seen on one of the earlier videos, sits a little bit higher than the foot of the sail used to sit. So on the gaff, I've drilled another hole just about 1.5 foot further down from where the original mount was, and that allows us to just put the gaff pole up a little bit higher. So far we've been out in, how strong was the wind? 12 knots wind last time we were out, thereabouts. Didn't affect the sailing, just been that bit higher at all. You know, we didn't even have the keel down full, and it was absolutely fine. No drift, nothing untoward. And with the boom, I can still reef up if I need to, drop the sail down a little. I think we might need the bimini up this morning for rain rather than for sun. Although it's very humid, it's, yeah, there's a black cloud coming in over the sea. I don't know whether I can pan round and show you. As always with the Mediterranean, yeah, the weather can change very, very quickly. That's why we always have the radio on and, listening out all the time. Okay. Yeah, you can see I've drilled an extra hole here. That was the original one. I might at some stage, as a lot of people actually drill another hole for when the sail's reefed, but I need to find out where that is. Yeah, it's okay at present, but at some stage I might just do another mod. Oh, that's quite tight. Not bad. I've drilled the hole too small, so that's another modification when we get home. The original Draskums and Devons, people used to just do this. So for this time out, we're going to strap it, and I'll just do it like this. It'll be fine for this time. It was fine last time we were out, actually. This is how we did it last time we used Swallow. Oops. Make sure the rope's out of the way. The shoe, just a couple of 1/2 inches. Again, anybody who's got a Drascum or Devon will know this, or other boats that have got gaff rigs. Paro beads from a bead shop, just from a hobby shop. These have been used nearly, no, how long? Yeah, a year in October. Made them myself, absolutely fine, do the job. A lot cheaper than buying beads from chandlers. I hate to say it, I'd like to use chandlers, but a lot of them price themselves out of the market. And it's just one of the beads that actually is the lock bead. Okay, I'll drop it down a little bit so I can get the others. Okay, Zoff, can you pass me the boom up, please? Okay, boom's just like that. Pretty simple. And then I can attach that now with the out hole. Easy clip. Okay, now this is going to be a first. Two things I need to do. I've got attachment point under here for the front of the sail. We did use it last time we're out, but I didn't have a lot of tension in it. I'm hoping now I can get a little bit of tension in it so we can pull some of the creases out the boat, out the sail even. Okay, that looks good. Just using paracord at present. I will put proper line on this at some stage, but in the experimental stage, just use some of the lines we have on the boat already. And the next thing I want to try and do is I want to see if that will actually hinge up. I've never tried it yet. Oh yes. That's good. So that just means I can okay. Perhaps on a really windy day I wouldn't do this like this, but this morning is relatively calm, so yeah, a couple of lashings I can get at when we get on the water. And again, I found a new use to put an extra eye in here for the mast. That's actually quite handy. You can use it for just lashing off on the boom even, not the mast. Cool. Don't think that's going to go anywhere for now. Not perfect, don't get me wrong, but it'll do. Okay. Right. Okay, and that's us set up, ready to launch. Zoff's chomping at the bit, flags up, rigs on. Nice steady away this morning to do that. I'll take the camera over to where the slipway is, and yeah, hopefully we'll have an easy launch. It's not always been easy here. We've had a couple of slight problems, but fingers crossed today we'll be okay. It's quite a shallow slipway, so sometimes the boat doesn't roll off it. And actually we're on spring tide today as well, so the water's actually a little bit deeper. I think this is the first time we've had it this depth. So it's going to, yeah, first with lots of them. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Don't always get this first time, but we'll see how we go today. what it's difficult to see, there's actually some chocks in the water here for to stop the trailers, and that's about the point you want to be at to get it in. With the tides being... Well, my light's off. That's probably okay, isn't it? With the water levels being a bit higher today, I think we should be okay. I normally drop down the boat on its winch. We've had a couple of problems with the winch. This is bent and I've had to repair the latch. We'll see how we go today. I always put a rope on as well anyway, but we'll see how we go. Always have that on as a check. Anyway, Zoff, do you want a rope in your hand? Okay. Always sticks. I think I need some new rollers. Yep, she's in. This is my way currently. Okay, it's just a case of feeding round. Now I'm going to try and do this and move the camera at the same time. Say hi's off. Yep, just start your bit round. Yeah, so I'll push her off. My rope round then. Excuse the panting, by the way. Okay, pull forward. I haven't put the lines for the jib down yet. Again, excuse my backside. Okay, she's in. Just a little bit sorting out, get the trailer parked up, and yeah, in the water. Okay, since we bought the boat, we've also done some major work to the trailer. We had to repack wheel bearings as we travelled down, as you've seen on a previous video. Also had to repair the hitch, but I've also serviced everything, all the U-bolts, bolts throughout. Most of the trailer have been changed. Like I said before, we put non-marking rollers on, modified these, the lights. Did leave the existing brackets, previous brackets, so you can put a trailer board back on if anybody wanted to, or we wanted to in the future. We also, for European rules, we had to put reflectors on the side that weren't on the trailer, and we've also put triangles on before I got triangular lights which are reflectors are all in ones. Also, we had to buy a spare wheel. You know, for Europe you have to carry one, so rather than it just being slung in the boat or strapped to the trailer, I bought a Viva mount. I also put an additional jockey wheel on the front. We use this because of where we park in our garden. We have to actually jack it up over the front over some steps, so I can use that one to jack it up, and that way the original one I can put down on the steps. Also, we have quite a steep curb to come up on our driveway. We've tried pushing loads of times, and being old farts as we are, it was difficult. So I put an extra winch on, and we actually use that to winch the trailer into the garden. So yeah, it's done a good job. I'm quite pleased with it, really. Okay, so we're going to get everything thrown in the boat. You can probably see the clouds starting to burn off. The early morning clouds starting to burn off, so fingers crossed it'll be good, but we're not going to get too hot. On sea temperature it's supposed to be about 28 degrees, feels like, but I think it's 30 air temperature, so yeah, fingers crossed it's going to be a good day. We'll see how we go.